Hey guys, enter the stars, and many of you have asked me about ways that you can support this channel. You can do it today by ordering grass-fed, hormone-free, antibiotic-free meats from grasslandbeef.com. The link's in the description. They've got all kinds of and cuts of meat, fresh, frozen, and shipped directly to your house within days. Guys, I've been ordering from this site for years, and at the end of the day, I spend less than I did buying meats in the store. Grassland beef meat is the safest available on the market. You can even sort the items by price, so you can be sure you're getting the best deals. You won't be disappointed. Thanks for your support. March 29th of 2014 will mark the 100-year anniversary of the first archaeological expedition to Easter Island. I found this site that has actual slides from that era of when this archaeological dig took place, and what I found was quite interesting. The very first image caught my eye of this image on the right. I'm going to blow this up in a second and compare it to some other images that we have of the Anunnaki. Now, nowhere are you going to see that the Anunnaki are related in any way to Easter Island, but I've done a side-by-side comparison to some of the images, and that particular idol that has been carved does in fact look exactly like an Anunnaki. Well, let's do a side-by-side comparison and look at this image. And this is just fascinating. This is an image of an Anunnaki. You see the large eye, the pronounced nose, the beard that comes all the way up to the bottom of the eyes, the small mouth, the rounded cap. It's all there. And we are only seeing part of the picture of this idol here in this picture here, and it's the only image that we have of it, unfortunately. Now, what else falls in line with the Anunnaki is the Birdman, and we also of course see pictures of the Anunnaki as birds, part bird and part man. Let's take a look at some other things though about Easter Island. First of all, we've done a lot of work talking about the different theories of how the large stones were moved. And it is my understanding and belief that these were moved either by sound technology or some kind of mind power. And I've stated that previously on this channel. When looking at this particular article, we see that the islanders had a legend that the statues were moved to the platforms and raised upright by the use of Manna, or mind power. Either the god, make, or priests or chiefs commanded them to walk or to float through the air, and according to one legend, use was made of a finely crafted stone sphere, 75 centimeters in diameter, called the Te Pito Kura, the golden navel, or the navel of light, to focus the manna. Now, the interesting thing is this archaeological dig that happened in 1914 was called the Manna Archaeological Expedition. Now, they may have known this already from some of the theories that had gone around, because there were actually other expeditions of different types to Easter Island in the 17 and 1800s. So they may have heard that manna was used, and that's why they named their archaeological expedition after it. Let's go through some of these images here. Here we see them lifting a large stone. Now these slides, these glass slides, are for sale actually. I believe for $15,000. They're very valuable. If we look at some of these images here, one of these images actually shows a Birdman. And of course we know that the Anunnaki had the Birdman. I just find that fascinating. Here's one here. I believe there's a better image in here as well. The Birdman. Here's one here. I believe there's one more that's actually much better, can be seen. They actually show half-carved moai that are still in the quarry. This is the first archaeological evidence that we have in 1914. That's where all these images are coming from. And we just did also a video showing that Easter Island was one of the anchor points of this star matrix that we see on the globe, and that all ancient sites fall on this star matrix. So there is more to Easter Island than meets the eye. I believe there are 50 plus images. Here's a cryptic image here. I don't know if they're lighting a fire around it or to have it lit for a dig that they're doing to excavate that particular Moai statue. Simply fascinating. Here is a very good picture of the Birdman. You can see his head here, hands, and a man's body. We have early European explorers who actually saw 12-foot high men when they got off of the boat. Now, this information is on the internet, but you will never hear this in the news about Easter Island. This is actually the proceedings of an explorer named Barons, and he solemnly states, with truth I might say that these savages are all of more than gigantic size. The men are tall and broad in proportion, averaging 12 feet in height. Surprising as it may appear, the tallest men on board of our ship could pass between the legs of these children of Goliath without bending their heads. This is unbelievable, but it fits into all the research that we've been doing on the Nephilim and the roots of these peoples who carried the sacred knowledge to be able to move these types of stones. But let's take a look at some more of this page here, because this is very intriguing. It says, the tallest men on board our ship could pass between the legs of these children of Goliath. What it also says here is that the women cannot compare in stature with the men, as they are commonly not above 10 feet high. Roggeveen states, the people are well proportioned, okay, of limb, having large and strong muscles, and are great in stature. Okay, this is different than what we see with the giants that we see today. Okay, they have snow-white teeth, which are uncommonly strong. Indeed, even among the aged and gray, we are surprised to see them crack large, hard nuts with shells, were thicker than our peach seeds. Laprousse contradicts the account as to their enormous height and praises the beauty of the women, whom he says resembled Europeans in color and feature. In one respect, however, all the navigators who have visited the place agree in expressing unbounded astonishment at the vast prehistoric remains which this island abounds. It is, however, so destitute of wood that it has little to boast of in the way of beautiful scenery. This man's account is fascinating. This is simply fascinating. More discoveries. Now, a lot of this information is on the web. It's on the internet. But we are rediscovering this, and it is fitting into where we are at in the history of mankind. Now, I want you to look at these stones here. What you're looking at, 10 by 6 foot stones that were shaped. They are about 10 tons each, shaped, polished, and fitted together perfectly in their final location without need for masonry. And where have we seen this before? We've seen this in Cusco, Peru. And this is Cusco, Peru. And it is almost identical. Now, this culture existed thousands of miles away from Easter Island. Easter Island is one of the most isolated islands on the planet, yet they had almost identical design in their building, and this is a seemingly impossible feat. Now, we're going to play the matching game. All of you guys have played this. On your left is the Rongo Rongo, which is the earliest known writings of the Rapa Nui, of the people of Easter Island. And on your right is the ancient Sumerian text that we find in the Sumerian tablets, which is the oldest known writing. Now, this particular character here stands for Earth. And there is another character that stands for heaven, and that is this star symbol. Let's zoom in on this. Now, we're going to try to match up some of these symbols with the ancient Sumerian text. And as you will see, it is not that hard to do. In fact, it is eerily easy to do. Now, these are image-based hieroglyphs. So, would this be the symbol for heaven? It's possible. 2 stars. Now, let's look at the symbol for man, which is this symbol. We have a man here. The symbol for woman is here. This could be a woman because she's impregnated. We have a symbol for water, which is eerily similar to this symbol here. We also see a symbol for head, which obviously this is the head, and if we're only showing the head without the body, that could be this symbol, or it could be this symbol as well. Now here's where it gets very interesting. Look at the symbol for fish, and when they turn the Sumerian text, it actually matches the symbol for fish in the Rongo Rongo tablets. We also have a symbol for ox, bull, or strong, and when it's turned, it resembles this symbol with the 2 antennae, so to speak, and the vaulted area within it. Very similar characteristics. We also have barley or wheat, which could be this symbol. And then of course we see drinking. And mountain. Could not find a symbol for mountain. But this is pretty amazing, the similarities that we see in the Sumerian writings compared to the Rongo Rongo. Now, it has been proven that the Rongo Rongo tablets existed before any man had discovered Easter Island. So they were not derived from any known language, and they were not made up. So that is a very interesting fact, which is acknowledged by public science. And here we have a few more. This could mean water, and this could mean swim or to drink, as we see here. We also have this symbol here. It looks like a cup, and it means food, and it closely resembles this hieroglyph here. Maybe the food pouring down someone's throat. We also see bird and fish here, and we see fish and a bird here. Very similar. In fact, this is the symbol used for the Birdman in the Rapa Nui culture. And it is interesting that they are right next to each other here.